All right. Well, thank you again for inviting me. You know how much I love your events, and again, I'm always honored to be a part of such an amazing lineup of gurus and market masters. It's an honor for me to be here, everybody. Thank you for joining. Before I get started, I really love to know where everybody is tuning in from. It's a great big world, but it's a real small trader community. If you wouldn't mind typing in where you are from, that'd be pretty cool. Look, we already got somebody from Wales, cloudy LA, Chicago, Seattle. I'm in the beautiful Pasos Robles wine region today. We got Florida, New Mexico, Vancouver, Fort Myers, Chicago, Waterloo, Canada, right on, Granville, Netherlands, one of my favorite places, the Czech Republic. Got to make it back to Prague one of these days, Toronto. Okay, you get the idea. We're all over the place. And yet here we are. So another thing that would really help me is if you wouldn't mind typing in, and hello Jamaica, could you please type in what your favorite or preferred market or style of trading is? Do you want to trade stocks and options? Do you want to trade futures, Forex, swing trade, day trade? Pop some trades into your retirement account. Just tell me, because that's going to help me with my presentation. I'm going to get through some slides and go straight to my trading lab, as Jeanette says, basically get into the charts. Whenever I show this strategy, which I've been doing for a long time because it works so well, is I always like to show the current markets. So this will be yesterday's session and the same trade plan, so you could see how it just continually works over and over again. All right, so but before we get into that, I want to show you or talk to you about what I think are the 7 most important trading hacks, not known to most traders, but I want you all to know them after today. All right, so also, as you know, don't trade with money that you can't kiss goodbye. All right, we're not going to kiss our money goodbye, but don't trade with money that you can't kiss goodbye. We all know it's risky. All right, you've heard that a bunch today. So let me talk to you a little bit about how I actually got here. I've been trading since the early 90s, 28 years, probably got to change that to 29 now. I've been a mentor and a coach for thousands of traders. I hate throwing numbers like that around, but literally my strategies are being used by thousands of traders all over the world. And I'm known as a backpack trader, and you'll understand why in a moment. One thing I want to say, though, is that being a backpack trader does not mean that you have to schlep a backpack around. It's just really a symbol of the freedom that you get from successful trading. So whether you want to trade from your own sofa, the Siberian Express, anywhere in between, you get to decide. And that's the beautiful thing about being a successful trader. I'm also going to give you guys a quiz, so I want you to pay attention. All right, because a couple people are going to win my new top selling book. And I just pulled this out off of Amazon today. I'm pushing on 900 reviews. These are 3 that just came in over the last few days. I'm going to give 2 copies of this book away today. So pay attention when I pull up the pop quiz. The first ones to get the answers right are going to win a copy of this book, and I'll even autograph it for you. All right, so pay attention. All right, so today's agenda, we're going to go over the 7 trading hacks to rule the market. We're going to talk about taking advantage of key exhaustion levels, and you'll see why that's important in a moment. The other thing that's critical is knowing the balance of power between buyers and sellers. I mean, that you could pretty much know that makes good common sense to know that. All right, and then we'll get into my lab and I'll show you some examples and this insanely accurate trading tool that I'm really excited about. I've been excited about, and I use it all the time, and you will see in a moment. Okay, so let's get started. How I became the backpack trader begins with my wife trade. I'm definitely not in the business of trading wives. It's not really what I'm saying here. I actually got involved with the trade that, well, it's right here on the chart. This is a historically famous trade. Actually, it's infamous. This is the trade that broke the Bank of England. Is anyone familiar with that? In the early 90s, a guy by the name of George Soros shorted Deutschmarks and shorted the British pound and ultimately broke the Bank of England. Actually, shorted the British pound against Deutschmarks and the US dollar. So I unwittingly took the same trade. And why did I do that? Because about a month earlier, I received a brochure in the mail that talked about Head and Shoulders patterns. And I was like, what does shampoo have to do with trading? That was kind of silly, but I really did think that. Well, nothing actually, but I took that trade, and it was luck, really. So in the end, Soros made billions. I took the several grand I made and I backpacked through Europe. And being a drummer, picked up some bongos along the way, started sitting in with musicians. I met a Venezuelan musician. This is us performing along the way. And about a year later, I went to visit him in Caracas, Venezuela, where I met my wife within 24 hours, and that was 26 years ago. You can see us, my happy family, up in the upper corner. The backpack trader was born. Soros made billions. I made a wife. I'll let you decide who had the best trade. For me, though, I was hooked. And the big point here is that trading is just too darn important to get wrong, right? I mean, if you can get trading right, it will change your life. And that's what we're here for. So it's really important that you all make a commitment to yourself to get it right. Because if you don't, you'll probably keep doing the same stuff that isn't working. So what I want you to do is type in to the chat box right now that it is time for you to get it right. If you agree, type in yes, type in get it right. This is for you guys. It's not for me. It's for you. You make the commitment to yourself, and the odds are you'll be able to take the next step. If you don't make the commitment, you probably keep taking the wrong step. So just do it for yourself. All right, and I see a lot of people typing it in, just about coming in faster than I could read your names, but keep typing it in because this is for yourself, guys. All right, really important to get trading right. All right, so hopefully these 7 trading hacks to rule the market are going to be a good starting point for you. So I'm going to go through each one. I want you to take a screenshot of this or write them down, and then I'll drill down and get into each one and show you why they're so important. So here they are. Prove it to yourself. I mean, that's number one. If you can't do that, forget it. You're not going to make money. I don't care what trading you do. Number 2, power of the trade plan. Number 3, dance with the market. Control and surrender. Okay. Number 4, lifestyle. This is important. You want to trade less and make more. I saw somebody put something in the chat a while ago saying, I don't have time to sit in front of my computer all day. Well, you know what? That's the first step in getting it right. I agree with you. I don't have time either for that. You don't have to do that. That's the good news. Number 5, the 2% rule. Number 6, Einstein. Well, we're going to learn that it's not wise to argue with Einstein, and you'll see why when we get to this hack. And then, of course, the 5% art. All right, so I'm going to go through each one of these, and then we're going to get into some trade examples. So let's start with the first one. You've all heard of Clint Eastwood, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, right? It's a famous movie. Well, I changed the title. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and the Great. So why is this critical? You'll see here a spreadsheet or a screenshot of a spreadsheet. This is a pre-programmed tool that I give to all my members. It's one of the most important tools you can use to become successful as a trader. It's what we use to prove to ourselves that our method of trading will make us money. And the beautiful thing about what we do is that we actually can prove it to ourselves before we risk our money. But what boggles my mind is how many traders out there don't bother doing this. So let me explain. I teach my traders to log a certain amount of trades. And what ends up happening, this is following a set of rules, okay, pretty simple stuff. You end up learning that there's a random distribution of wins and losses. And you get some winners, you get some losses, you get some break evens, and you'll end up seeing how they cluster up and how the best trades follow the worst. But ultimately you realize, wait a minute, there's winners, there's losers. But when you click over to another tab and you see something like this as a result of all those trades, you start to realize that despite some actual ugly that shows up in that win-loss column, the forest grows. So even though you've got some tough trades, some losing trades, even the trades that you think are sure to win end up losing, and the most uncomfortable trades are the biggest winners. That happens all the time. Ultimately, when you step back and realize, when you put it all together, if you can get from here on the left all the way up to here on the right, Now you're starting to learn what making money is. This is what proving to yourself means, that despite the random distribution of wins and losses, the equity in your account will go up and up. So let me ask you this and answer me honestly. Let's say that you started trading. You didn't prove anything. You just believe in someone. Maybe you believe in me, whatever. And you start trading one day. Maybe in my live trade room, you start taking trades. Maybe it's this exact plan with crude oil futures back in 2015, 6 years ago, with a 377 tick chart, using the exact same strategy I'm going to show you today. And you start trading here. And all you experience is losing trades from here to here to here. And right when you've taken on more pain than you can probably handle, what happens? You quit, right? You quit, you run for the exit, never to be heard from again. You probably quit trading too. And then you miss this. That would be tragic, wouldn't it? But that is what so many traders do, because they don't take the time or the effort to prove it to themselves first. So I make this part of my training. I don't want you to trade one penny without proof that you can make money. Is that fair? What do you guys think? I think that's not asking too much. Remember, you have to get it right. Trading's too darn important to get wrong. Okay, so can we all agree? By the way, that's 6 years ago. I'm going to show you this exact same market with this exact same strategy just from yesterday, the exact same time, everything that we do in the trade room, and you'll kind of get a sense of how this has worked over time. Okay, this will never stop working, and you'll see why in a moment. All right, so let's talk about the next hack, the power of the trade plan. Plan your trade, trade your plan. When one of these trades show up, the entire trade prints in a data window. You see the entry, the targets, the stop, what you're risking, your rewards, your risk-reward ratios. And you'll notice that there's things on the chart here. This is a trade that just ended. What did it look like when it first appeared? Right here. It first appeared on the right edge of the chart. And I'm going to show you, I'm kind of giving you a little bit of an overview, but I'm going to show you the real trades that happened just yesterday. The exact entry right there, that little plus sign is below the line. You know you're going short, it's above the line, you're going long. You got some targets, a stop, and they're all printed. They're all printed out, and the entire trade is planned. Okay, but more importantly, this is just one trade completely planned. But when I talk about a trade plan, I talk about how the trade itself fits into a bigger plan. What time do you start trading? What market? What chart? When do you stop trading? What are your goals for the day? And then what? So it's a trade plan that you have all the rules to from start to finish that you can duplicate each and every day. Because with that, you can go back to the first hack and you can begin to prove to yourself if you can make money with it or not. Make sense? If you have any questions, type them in. I'm going to try to keep up with the questions as I go. All right. So here's the next hack. You'll see how this all fits together. Learn how to dance with the market. Better yet, have a strategy that can dance with the market. What does that mean? It means that we surrender control to the price action. We don't try to control it. We're not in there moving our stops and trying to push our targets and trying to getting out too soon and staying in too long and all the stuff that losing traders do. More importantly, you have a strategy that can tune itself bar after bar to market conditions. It could literally look at the price action and determine the market volatility and then produce trades that are appropriate for that exact moment in time so that you have the highest chances of success with that trade. So for example, if you look on the left, you'll see a little plus sign, a long trade. Notice the target and look how accurate it is. The market comes up and then comes down. All right, the stop moves up. I'll teach that in a moment, but notice that it hit that target perfectly, and it was a little scalp trade. It was 10 cents. That's $100 a contract on crude oil. But then it gave a short trade, and look how much larger this trade is. At the right edge of the chart, now we have the benefit of seeing what happened after, but this shows up at the right edge of the chart. You got the whole trade, you short it. Look how much larger. Target 2 was 17 cents, $170. And look at how perfect that was before it went back up. How did it know that? Remember, the title of this presentation is an insanely accurate trading tool. It's what I'm showing you here. It has the ability to dance with the market. This is such an important trading hack, and I want you to see how all these hacks fit together. Okay, so don't lose track of the other two: proving it to yourself, power of the trade plan, dancing with the market. You can see here, exact same market. Look at this one. This one's 26 cents, and look how accurate that is before it starts moving up. You see, because of its ability to dance with the market and tune itself in real time. Now, if this was just any old strategy that had the same, let's get 26 cents on every trade, or let's get 15 cents on every trade, those strategies never work because markets change. Markets are in a constant flux. So we don't want to try to control it by putting some rigid fixed target out there, because we're going to be much better off if we just let the market lead. We learn to dance with it and let the strategy tune itself based on patterns that I'm going to show you. All right, so let's keep going. Power of the lifestyle. This is so important because most traders will adjust their lifestyle so that they can trade. That person that typed in, I don't want to sit in front of my computer all day long, she has it right. You don't want to do that. It's better that you trade less and make more, because what ends up happening is traders make some money and then they give the money back, and then they keep trading, and then they end up losing when they could have just quit much sooner with much less effort and kept the money in their pockets, and then rinse and repeat day after day. All right, less is more when it comes to trading, and all my testing has shown that over the years, and I've done a lot of testing and a lot of trading. Keep your money, don't give it back. And it fits into the 2% rule. So think of your trading as a three-legged stool, right? You got your trading strategy, I'm going to show you in a moment. You got your money management, and then of course trade psychology. It's you not being that person just trying to trade. That never works. You have to actually become a trader. So that all fits together, and there are ways to do that. There's a step-by-step approach, but the 2% rule has to do with the money management side of the leg. It's the money management leg. If you take any one of those legs away, the stool's going to topple over, right? So you need all three. But the money management leg is super important, and it's about understanding the ramp. So I'm going to show you what that means. But what 2% means is that you're never going to risk more than 2% of your kiss goodbye money, your trading capital, on any given trade. And what's beautiful about what I just showed you a moment ago is that you know what that's going to be. You know what your entry is, you know what your stop is, you know what you're risking, and it's very easy to calculate what 2% of your account is on a trade plan that you've been able to prove will make you money. And as your account grows, so does 2%. Okay, so I got a question if this works with all kinds of securities. Yes, it certainly does, but there are going to be some that are better than others. But yes, this is completely dynamic, does not care what the symbol is. It only wants to see buyers and sellers on the chart. All right, so the 2% rule, and the ramp, this feeds into Einstein, right? His eighth wonder of the world is the power of compounding. So this is a Forex strategy. It's a Forex strategy that allowed the plan to trade up to 1,000 full-size lots. Now, that's pretty big, but it was starting with just a $2,000 account. You're not going to trade 1,000 lots. Maybe you're going to trade a mini lot or a couple micros, depending on, you know, if it's a day trade or swing trade. But notice that from October to, you know, January, several months, it didn't really look like it was making any headway. And then it started to grow. And this is the ramp of adding 2% as your account grows, taking 2%. You know, some positions come off and on as your account goes up and down, up and down. Remember the random distribution of wins and losses, but eventually the winners kick in and you hit that exponential curve. Now this would have gone all the way up to infinity if we didn't cap it at 1,000 lots. You see, so once you got to here, your 2% of your account is 1,000 lots. Now, how many of you are going to lose sleep over putting 1,000 lot trade on when it only represents 2% of your account? So now you're just coasting, right? And by the time you get to here, you're probably putting on, I don't know, 1/10 of 1% of your account because you're not going more than 1,000 lots. You think you're going to lose any sleep over that? 1/10 of 1%, 1,000 lots? It's all relative, right? So the point is that if you don't use money management, you start with that $2,000, and if you have a great plan, you're going to make some money. I mean, this blue line on the left, It literally grew to 8,500 bucks without any money management, right? That's not bad. That's like 450% or something like that. I mean, you can get a career on Wall Street with a 10%. That's nothing to sneeze at. But look at the ramping up when you add the 2% and how the exponential curve, yeah, you get some more volatility, but ultimately the $2,000 with the exact same trades, over $300,000, the same trades. Now, this is just meant to illustrate the power of compounding and that second leg on that three-legged stool. If you're not employing money management, you're making a huge mistake. You're maybe not understanding even why you're trading in the first place. This is so important. A mediocre trade plan can make you a lot of money if you have great money management. So imagine what you can do with a fantastic trade plan. All right, this is super important. Finally, the 5% art to trading. So I usually spend more time with this when I have a little more time than just an hour to explain this, but this I talk about and we incorporate this in our trade plans in our trade room all the time. Ultimately, we make key level adjustments. So if an entry is a little bit below a major resistance level, we just push it above. Same with stops, little things like that. But the important thing is you don't become 10% or 50% of an artist. You rely on mechanical rules, but you allow yourself the 5% art to make decisions that the human brain can make a lot better than code or artificial intelligence, like an indicator. Does that make sense? A lot of traders don't learn these little subtle techniques, and these make a huge difference. All right, so those are my 7 hacks. Let me talk to you a little bit about the key exhaustion levels on a chart. You all know who Muhammad Ali is and his rope-a-dope technique, where he covers up, waits for his opponent to become exhausted, and then he comes out swinging. Well, if you haven't guessed the name of the strategy yet, this is the Counterpunch Express 2. It got its name from this technique. We wait for the markets to become exhausted. So I came up with this way of indicating on the chart when the sellers are tired. You got these 3 dots here on the bottom. You see these arrows? This tells us the sellers are exhausted and the market goes up. These dots above, they tell us when the buyers become exhausted. Now there's different levels of exhaustion. Sometimes they're just catching their breath and resuming their strength. So we need to compile or add additional pieces of information, but this is where it all begins. Okay, does everybody see this? If you have this information and nothing else, you're gonna be better off than most of the traders out there. So it's quiz time. What does this mean? Yellow, blue, green. What's that mean, guys? Who wants to rent a copy of my book? All right, I see some answers being typed in. I'm gonna let Jeanette kind of manage the answers here, and later we'll get back to you, I think, and let you know who the winner is. Caution, stop, go. A good one. So I do see somebody said buy, and that was the first person to enter the answer. So I'm gonna let that person know who he is momentarily, or maybe Jeanette. I don't know if Jeanette's
okay. I will. I'm just looking at.
Okay.
It's okay to say it out loud. It's David, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. All right. I'll message.
All right, great. So guess what? There's another quiz coming, so pay attention. What does this mean, guys? Long, short, or out? Anybody? A lot of people putting the answers in. All right, guess what? I'm kind of pranking you guys. This doesn't mean anything. I'm just trying to see who's paying attention. So this means nothing. This is just a little pause in the action. But what does that mean? Long, short, or out? Anybody? All right, I see some correct answers. I see some incorrect answers. I see some LOLs. Great. I mean, it's all in fun. Somebody's going to win an autographed copy of my book. Jeanette, I'll let you figure it out. I'm going to keep going because you know me, I'll talk forever and run out of time. So let's keep going. Good job, guys, for paying attention. All right, so guess what? When we discover these exhaustion levels, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to try to figure out the balance of power between buyers and sellers, because if we know when the buyers and the sellers are tired, and then we know where that line of the sand is, it's like the great crocodile pit. Imagine a tug of war, buyers on one side, sellers on the other. Well, you don't want to get drugged into the crocodile pit, right? You ever hear Confucius say that? I saw that in a fortune cookie, and I thought I would put it in this presentation because those are words of wisdom. You don't want to get eaten by a crocodile. So you want to be on the right side of the balance of power. And that's a moving line in the sand. And what if we knew what that was on every chart? Well, we do. We use this indicator. It's called the signal line. It's also called the balance line. I've used different names for this. The important thing is that buyers are in charge when the price action's above the line. The sellers are getting drug into the crocodile pit. They're getting gobbled up. They're panicking. They're dying. They're losing their money. Whatever metaphor you want to use, you know what it means. And you don't want to be the sellers here, right? Unless you're selling from way up here. Well, guess what? The buyers get tired here. And look what happens when the price is on the other side of the crocodile pit line. Goes down. So if we know that the buyers are exhausted, and then we start seeing bars closing on the other side of our balance line, are we not 90% or 100% better off than 90% of the traders out there? I mean, we are. We could trade with just this and nothing else. All right. So could you all see the sense in that? I've built my career on this idea. So I'm going to teach it to you more now. I'm going to take you into my lab, and we're going to look at some examples. All right, so while we're in there, I'm going to start by showing you, basically I'm going to deconstruct and then reconstruct and teach you the Counterpunch Express. All right, so let's do it. Let me just pull up the chart, and I'm going to start with this naked chart. This is from yesterday. Doesn't matter what the symbol is, it's crude oil futures, but it doesn't matter. But this is what we do in the trade room. I do the crude oil report every week. I use this strategy. I trade it live. I even put the recordings on my YouTube channel. So this is like, you know, this really happened. So the session starts at 9 a.m. and I put a line here just to mark where that is. Can anybody guess which direction the price is going to go at this point? Do you think it's going to go up? Do you think it's going to go down? Anybody? Type it in. Because I want to tell you that some people say no, down, up, down, LOL. All right, well, the answer is we don't know, right? I mean, your guess is as good as anyone else's. So the thing is, we need more information. Well, what information do we need? Well, what if I put on the exhaustion dots? Does that start to help us a little bit? I mean, kind of. You can see what happened in the past. And you can see there's some exhaustion dots forming. There's these down here. The ones over here haven't formed yet. I mean, they have because this happened, but in real time, you need the 3 before they form. All right, so it seems like the sellers got tired. All right, so what though happens when we put on our signal line, our balance of power, our crocodile pit line? Now what? Kind of balance, you know, between buyers and sellers. So we need more information. That's fine. There's one more piece of information I'm going to show you next, and that is this. And this comes with the strategy as well. This is called the high trend chop indicator, and this is a real interesting indicator. You've all learned that if you can trade with the fast trend on the slower chart, you're going to be in a good position, right? But typically that means having to take your eye off the ball and look at another chart. And when you're dealing with another chart, all of a sudden it becomes very hard to test and prove to yourself. So what this indicator does, it puts it all on one chart. If you can imagine that this is a chart 5 times slower. So right now this is an 8-tick momentum bar. So imagine a 40-tick momentum bar. You all know between fast, intermediate, and long-term trends, right? You learn that with basic trend analysis. So what this is doing is it's putting the fast trend from the 40-tick momentum bar right onto our 8-tick chart, the faster chart that we're trading. And now we could see what's happening on the fast trend on the slower time frame. And that's going to help us a lot. It's also going to indicate when the markets are choppy, because we're going to start seeing some dots along the bottom. And we don't see them here because the market was actually not choppy. But when you do see it, it helps filter out some trades, and I teach that in training, okay? So this gives us a real leg up and an important piece of information. And then the final thing I'm gonna show you is a calculator that literally takes the rules of this strategy and prints the trade right on the chart, just like the diagram that I showed you earlier with the plus sign, the entry above or below, and you know to go long or short with the targets, etc. Imagine if you had that and you could trade a market like this or many other markets the same way. Learn it once, use it for a lifetime. All right, so let me show you. So this happened just yesterday, and all of a sudden you could see we have a long trade. And how do we know it's a long trade? Because it's above our line. Look at how the sellers are exhausted. We're above the crocodile pit line, and we have a printed trade. And we have targets and an entry and a stop, and we know what we're risking. So the basic plan of this strategy is that we want to try to get to target 2. Target 2 is our primary position, and then we take profit. And if you only trade one position, you're done. You can trade multiple positions. You could use the other targets. You can also trail, okay? But if the first step along the way, though, to get to target 2 is to first get to target 1. So we're going to reward ourselves. When we get to target 1, we're going to move our stop, which is this little white dot, from here, and we're going to go 1 tick beyond our entry. We're going to lock in 1 tick of profit to cover our costs and be in a break-even position. So we want to get to a risk-free position as quickly as possible while giving the trade the room it needs to develop. So we're not going to do it too soon. All right, so this is what happened yesterday. It quickly went up to its first target. Great. This is the first trade of the day of our trade plan. If we can get to target 2 and hit our goals, we use what's called the power of quitting. Now, remember what I said about the lifestyle hack. The power of quitting enables us to quit trading with our profits in our pocket. So we don't keep trading, staying in front of the computer too long and giving the profits back, because we also have to be mindful of the random distribution of wins and losses. If we can keep our profit a majority of the time and quit our sessions with a positive result a vast majority of the time with minimal and efficient trading, we control our drawdown, and we could utilize the other hacks. We could utilize Einstein, the power of compounding, and we can grow our accounts by not working more. We just do the same thing tomorrow. We take what the market wants to give us. And remember, this is being adjusted to market conditions. All right, so if you're trading with 2 positions, you can certainly take profit at target 3. You could trail. It's going to start trailing the signal line. So look at how the stop came up, moved up to here. It's holding the price in, and then it pops right on up, misses target by 1 tick, but the stop is now starting to move up and lock in some profit. It's hiding behind our line in the sand, our crocodile pit line, and then boom, target 2. So you're done unless you're trading more positions and it hits target 3. Sometimes that's all she wrote, all she wrote. Yesterday was a pretty strong rally, so we just trailed it on up, and then finally it stopped out right there. So in the end, let me just show you. This is that trade. I marked it up for expediency purposes. Power of quitting 1, you're finished. You're trading 1 or 2 or 3 positions. 2 contracts would have made $520, okay, in 1 day. And by the way, that isn't even 1 day. That goes from 9:04 in the morning, and by the time it hit target 3, it was 9:22. So what's that, 18 minutes? 18 minutes. How's that for a work day, you guys? Imagine 2 contracts. A few months later, you're up to 10 contracts through power of compounding with 2%. Not bad, right? Some people do the power of quitting 2, where they need 2 winners and a positive result. So I just put the second trade up here. I don't like this as much because what I've learned over time is you make more money trading less, not more. But the strategy is very dynamic. Let me show you a few more examples. Another great market, one of my favorite markets to day trade, is a Dow E-mini. That's $5 per point. A lot of people go, well, what about the ES? Yeah, the ES is great. It just happens to be a really hard market to trade. It's $12.50 a tick. Slippage kills you. Goldman Sachs is on the other side of your trade. It's just hard. Why do that when you could trade the YM? The YM is so much easier. At least that's what I think. So this was yesterday's session. It started here at 8:30, and the first trade was kind of small. and it got to its break-even point, and then it came up and stopped out. So you're flat. Remember, at this point in time, you're at the right edge of the chart. We don't know the market's going to go down or up or whatever. We just know we're flat. So we have to get to our target 2 winner. We need one more trade. Well, it's a good thing this one didn't get to its target 2. It missed by 1 tick. Because then we had to take another trade and got a much bigger, more profitable trade. And this was the one that finished the session. So this was a 2-trade session. But I mean, 2 contracts made $480. Now you can go to target 1 here because this is a larger time frame chart, and target 1 is often quite profitable. Or you can just do your target 2 and 3. You have a lot of options. Okay, remember, you're going to prove it yourself first anyway. But you can see a very profitable session. This is yesterday's session. I always show these. I always show what's happening today. Of course, it's Saturday, so I'm showing you yesterday. I can show you all kinds of day trade examples, but I also want to show you how powerful this is with the other markets. When you guys were typing in what you like to trade, you typed in Forex, you typed in equities, options, you pretty much typed in everything. So I love trading Forex with this. This is a great strategy. One of my favorite ways to trade Forex is with daily charts. 1 bar is a whole day. And what I love about this is you literally spend 10 to 15 minutes on average or less at the end of the day looking at your charts, placing trades, managing trades. It's such a simple way to go. So let's go back a ways. This is going back, I don't know, back in September. And what I want you to see is how I don't really have to teach you anything new. I will introduce one more indicator. This is a bonus that I give with these webinars. This is a $197 indicator. I give it away to you guys as a free bonus, and it's the trend mode indicator. It's great. It's a filter. Basically, it says only go long when the line is blue. Only go short when the line is red. And that's it. So if the line is blue, you don't go short, etc. You don't go long if the line is blue, line is red. Okay, and it's great. It works really well. So I'm going to give you this, and I'll show you some more examples. But I want you to see the accuracy of the dancing with the market part of this plan. Because remember, at the right edge of the chart, all you get is this. You get the setup. You don't know what's going to happen next. And look at that projected target, how perfect it was before it started heading the other way. Then we get a short trade, only for a moment while the line is red and we're trigger in, and then it turns blue. And then look at the target. You could take profit at target 1, target 2, target 3, and trail, because with Forex, you can tune your position size. You can use a combination of micros, minis, full-size lots, and stick to that 2% rule, and you could scale out at the different targets, which I think you need to do because you make profit, you make money. This only was able to get to target 1. Look how perfect it was. This one was perfect for 96 pips. This one adjusted, dancing with the market, 110 pips. Long trade never triggered in. Look at the short trade. Look how accurate this target was. That was 139 pips. You could still keep more position size. It almost got to target 2. That's pretty accurate. I mean, it barely missed, but our stop is protecting us, and it stopped out. So we're done. Made some money here too. A little bit less than 139 pips. Okay, this was actually a losing trade. Actually, you know what? It was a losing trade when I marked this chart up because there was some bad data. This setup, oh yeah, here, triggers in here. So here's a losing trade. All right, it loses 121 pips. But notice that the stop was here. It got into a long trade, saved a little money, got long, and again, a pretty decent target. And I'm just going to go through these quickly now so you can really see the profit potential of these trades, one after the other, and the accuracy of each one. I mean, nothing's going to be 100% perfect, but this one just finished. Like, we literally just finished this trade a few days ago. Now there's a short trade setting up right here. So that's the next trade. Okay, so you could do this on, I mean, you could follow like a dozen pairs. You could prove it yourself with each pair first. And these targets, these inputs come with the calculator that print these trades are all adjustable. I teach you how to use them properly. but this is all the default stuff. I'm not changing anything for any of these. This one's a little customized because this one wins like 80% of its trades over the last 10 years, literally. And so this is a 4-hour chart, but it only uses the 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. bar, and it's pretty interesting. So this is the last one. You can see these targets are a little spaced differently. This one just hit the target the other day on the 12th, like 2 days ago, still going, and it actually just stopped out yesterday. So that one just finished. Now there's a new one. So, you know, I'm trying to show you a little bit of this, a little bit of that. There's day trade size Forex you could do too, whether it's a tick chart or a 5-minute chart. This works on MT4 really well. You can use momentum bars. There's all kinds of ways to trade Forex with this, but one of my favorite ways to trade, and I've been saving this for last, is swing trading equities and options. So let's take a look at a few of those because I want you to see the profitability. When you have a strategy that can dance with the market and project these trades using exhaustion, balance line, high, fast trend on the high time frame chart, put together in a set of rules with very accurate targets, you got a real great combination for trading options. So let's look at the spider. Here was an entry that happened. This was back in June of 2020, and then we're going to go forward and we'll just kind of march forward and I'll show you what happens. So right here, if you bought a slightly in the money call option, what's great about this strategy is you buy one that's far enough out that even if we hit our stop loss, we're going to sell our option back and recapture some of the premium. There's a question if this works on TOS, and yes, I'm happy to say it does. So this is how much the stock would have made, but look at the profit that you would have made just with simple call options. 37%, 65%, 112%, 121%. I mean, this is big money, right, for one trade. And you could do this with all kinds of stocks. So I'm just going to walk you through. Here's a losing trade, but the stop is way up here. The system identifies a long right here, and you're only losing this little piece, this little tiny bit. So you sell your option back, recapture most of your premium, you buy a call instead, hits a perfect target, different market, different symbol, perfect target, another perfect target. This time you're buying puts. Now you're buying calls, another perfect target before it goes down, stops out. Look at that. It's amazing how $19.20 versus, see how it's dancing with the market? It knows. It's like a crystal ball. This is a small losing trade, but then it gets you right into this nice big winner. And look at the stop, perfectly placed, and a perfect target. Another perfect target. Look at the difference between this target one and how perfect that target is. Much smaller, but a great trade. And in 2 days, you're racking it in, right? Okay, so this trade loses, but then it gets long and rewards you with a really nice big gain. I didn't do target two. Target two, I mean, that's $24.41 on the stock. So you can imagine how much that made on a simple June call. All right, and that brings us to here. So the last thing I'm going to show you, and I'm going to show you how you can get this. I got an incredible offer for you, by the way. I mean, this is so absurdly cheap. I'm even going to steal my own thunder. And just the one session I showed you with crude oil or the YM basically paid the whole thing or more, just one trade. So that's how, that's what I got for you. Anyway, I'll show you that in a moment. But it's like, this is nothing. This is a bag of peanuts compared to what you get. So let me tell you the story of COVID, because we all just lived through this, right? We all just lived through this. This is last year. The market's panicked, okay? We got a short sell here, a short setup on the QQQs. And you could see the put, you know exactly what you're going to get. If the entry's at 189, you buy a slightly in the money put option. So buy a 190. That's what it is, 190. Look how 90. Look how accurate the target was. Stabbed right down to it. I mean, that was a 94% gain in literally, I don't know, 4 or 5 days. I mean, it barely missed the target here. Could have just taken profit, but it ultimately hit it. Okay. Then the market turned. Now, did we know the market was turning? Everyone was in panic mode. Remember this? Everyone should remember this well. It was amazing. It seems like so long ago. It was only a year ago. look at, I'm going to quickly walk you through the accuracy of this. So these were June 94 calls, and it made 66% to target 1. It made 92% to target 2, a perfect target before coming down and stopping out. Then it went up again. Look at how that one is tuned. Different size, perfect target. This is the Qs. It's not the spider. It's not the other markets I showed you. This is a different market. It doesn't care. The system works. Look how perfect that one was. How does it know that? Just keep following. It's like uncanny. This one almost hit target 3. I mean, give it a break. It's not perfect. It's almost perfect. It avoided a short trade. Why? Because this is using trend mode, the strategy, this trade plan. When the line is blue, we don't take shorts. We avoid a losing trade. Look how perfect the long is before coming down. How about this one? Slightly bigger. This one went a little further, so we have our trailing stop to protect us. And we could always take advantage of spike trades. Nothing prevents us from just scaling out, taking advantage of the free gift from the trader gods, right? We can do that. But I mean, check it out. Look at this one. We don't get any trades in this mess. And then we get a nice long with a perfectly targeted, a calculated target, again, tuned. It gaps right up, and you're literally taking profit off from target 1 and target 2 at the same place. Another gift from the markets, and then a losing trade. Okay, trades lose, but we don't care because we already know there's a random distribution of wins and losses. But when you combine it with a proof that this will make you money over time, and you could start to see the other hacks working built into the strategy and the accuracy. Remember what the title of this presentation was? Knowing with uncanny accuracy and insanely accurate. I forget what it was. You get the point. You can see it's pretty insanely accurate. Look at that. Hitting it again. This strategy is over 7 years old, guys. I have other strategies, but this is one of my best. I still use it myself. This strategy works. It's just amazing. It'll never stop working because it's dancing with the market. It's literally letting the market be what the market is, and it's reacting with these great patterns. It's a philosophy that I use. The immediate past predicts the immediate future. So it's looking at this smart set of stuff, price action confirmation that just immediately happened. And it's giving you a projection of what's going to immediately occur next. The immediate past predicts the immediate future. That's how this stuff works. So this is, still going, obviously. You get the picture. Could I move? Could I show you how to get this? Have you guys seen enough? I'm running out of time, and I got to give myself a few minutes to show you what I got for you. So if you don't mind, I'm going to jump back here, and I'll want to save time for questions. I just showed you the 4-hour pound yen that has been winning 80% of its trades for a very long time. That's a trade plan you get. I showed you crude oil. What I didn't show you was the weekly crude oil report that I trade live every week in the trade room with my members and post on my channel. And it was another winning session. I've been doing this for years, the same plan, the same everything. And over the years, I've been collecting testimonials. These are unsolicited. These are just what people send to me. I've got over 300 of them since 2011 when I started saving them. That's over 10 years. And I'm showing you, here's some from 2011. Here's some from 2019, 2018, 2020. I've got some brand new ones too. You saw the testimonials from my book just from this week. These are real. This guy has the CPX before it became the CPX2. He trades natural gas. He's loving it. This guy here, this is, by the way, in 2016. So you can see this has been working and working, continues to work. He loves it. That's incredible. I'm loving this. Let you guys kind of look at this and read it if you want, but I got to keep moving so I can show you how I can get this to you for literally the cost of one winning trade. So I've taught you some stuff today also. So even if you don't get this, I want you to at least walk away from this presentation a better trader. So you know that you have to prove that a strategy will work before you risk your money, right? That was the #1 hack. The truth is we don't know bleep. At the right edge of the chart, what's bleep? We don't know shit. Could I say that? We're all adults here, right? We don't know shit. We're at the right edge of the chart and we have to make trading decisions. If you have a tool like this, maybe you know a little more than you think. You know that you have to dance with the market and let Einstein's eighth wonder of the world do the heavy lifting for us. Let's let the odds of our strategy make us money, regardless of the random distribution of wins and losses. Okay, super important. And then, of course, don't trade too much. If you trade less, you're going to make more money because of Einstein. Let's not argue with Einstein, guys. Okay, ultimately, you want to be the CEO of your trading business. What I want each and every one of you to do is to stop being that guy or gal trying to trade. Stop being the person trying to trade. Instead, become the CEO of your trading business. This is a process that works. It's the Counterpunch Express 2.0. It's proven. It's been enhanced over the original version. You get the complete method, all the indicators that I gave you, all the training from start to finish. It has the trade tracking. You saw the stop, knowing how to move and trail. You can even turn on additional supplemental trades that set up inside of other trades. I'll show you how to use those. You get the whole control panel where at a glance you see your trade, your entire trade completely planned, and the accuracy of those trades. You get the high trend chop filter. I mean, you could use that indicator alone with pretty much any method that you use to trade with, and this will help you, but it works great with this strategy. And of course, proven and reliable for years. This is over 7 years old, works the same way today as it did when it first came out. It has stood the test of time. Okay, but there's more. You get all the indicators. It works on all these great platforms. It works on TradeStation, NinjaTrader 7 and 8. It works on MT4, and it works on Thinkorswim. Thinkorswim's brand new. Really proud of it. My programmer did a great job. It can do the tracking. Thinkorswim is not the best charting platform, I mean, let's face it, but it works great and the setups are perfect. In fact, I can show you what it looks like. Here's an example of a Thinkorswim chart. This is on Tesla. It's a daily chart. Instead of the little plus sign, you get little squares. That's, you know, you got some limitations aesthetically, but basically you can see the same trades. This trade happened here. Here's the entry. Here are the targets. This is the huge gains using options, right? 92% in 5 days, for example, the trailer. So it works great on Thinkorswim. It also works on MT4. It's a good example. It looks different, but it works the same. Got your stop, got your entry, got it trailing down. I didn't put the crocodile pit line on there, but you could certainly put it on. Perfect target, right? It's all here. It all works. So whatever your platform is, it's going to work the same. Okay. All the training, some of the best training I've ever done. It's video based. A lot of support materials. You do get a copy of that pre-programmed spreadsheet, by the way. That's another bonus I'll tell you about. You get the trend mode indicator as a bonus for this webinar, okay? And done for you trade plans, literally trade plans that I've already proven that work. Some of the ones I've shown you today. You don't have to do that work, but I'll also show you how to chase down your own ideas so that you can develop and use the strategy to trade other things too. I'll show you, I'll teach you those techniques as well, okay? So, I mean, it's worth this much. You could easily sell it for $1,000. That's what it should be selling for. Today only, $497. You own everything for life. I've shown you so much. Just yesterday's session in one trade paid this. That's it. Same plan that's been working for years. It's going to work Monday. Not every session is going to win. Some sessions lose, but a vast majority of them win. You saw the up and down random distribution, but the equity curve going up and up and up. This is a bag of peanuts in the world of trading. $497, you get everything. The custom indicators, all the training. You get me, I'll show you some bonuses this comes with. All this stuff. You also get my trade room. You get to visit and learn this in real time with me and my trading coach, John, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. We do this 4 days a week and most weeks, and you get to join us and actually learn the strategy live, ask questions, and we'll help you. And this is how you master the strategy. You can trade the same plans we're trading. I mean, this is the biggest no-brainer. Look at this crude oil. I've shown you so much on crude oil already. This was back in 2016. Does it look any different than what I showed you today? Different color because the colors represent different types of setups, but the same accuracy, the same everything. Nothing's changed. How about this? This is NinjaTrader. This is the crude oil report that we do each week, but using NinjaTrader. Here's the entry. Here are the targets. Here's the trailer. Works the same. Your data window. So I just want you to see the durability of this. Some trade room banter. A lot of people, you get this all the time, a lot of interaction, a great trader community, some really great traders in our community, in the trade room, using the strategy. I've learned a lot from them as well. www.backpacktrader.com/join. I think Jeanette probably put it in the chat box, but if not, can you please do that for me? I'm almost finished here. I want to talk to you a little bit about the Ultimate Trade Analyzer. This is that pre-programmed spreadsheet that I showed you with the proving it to yourself #1 hack. You're going to get this along with training on how to use it. This is so important. If you use this, you're going to become a better trader, period. And you get this as a bonus. This typically sells for $497 by itself. That's the cost of what Counterpunch Express is. I'm giving it to you as a free gift. I want you to succeed. It's going to produce curves like this when you do your proving. This is the Dowie Mini. It's basically the same plan I just showed you from yesterday. Everything for just $497, the cost of just one winning trade. You own it for life. But there's a few more bonuses. You get all access to my trade room. You get the UTA, but I'm going to give you a multi-computer license. In other words, you can put this on your laptop. You can put it on your desktop. You can put it on your home computer, your work computer. I'm not going to get in the way of your success. I want you to be able to use this and succeed with it. You also can use it on all the platforms. So you could put it on Thinkorswim and TradeStation and MT4. I'm not going to limit you from succeeding. Finally, I'm going to give you my 2 most important ebooks also, the 12 Powers to Successful Trading and the No-Brainer Guide to Trading Success. If you follow these 2 books, make this your trading religion, in addition to everything I've talked to you with the 7 trading hacks today and this Counterpunch Express 2, you're going to be better off than 90% of the traders out there. All this is easily worth $3,500. I'm giving it to you at a 90% discount. So not only are you going to be better off than 90% of the traders out there, you get it all for 90% less than probably what I should be selling it for. Literally $497. Only the first 50. This price is going to go up. Can't keep it at this price forever. It's just too darn low. The strategy's too good. So I'm going to let you have it. $497. www.backpacktrader.com/join. Come get it while it's still available. And I think I'm just about finished. Let me just see if there's any questions. I do not accept PayPal. I used to. I don't anymore. They're crooks. I don't do business with PayPal. You're going to have to find another way. Apologize for that. But they are crooks. How is this different from Catapult? Okay, so Catapult is a completely different strategy. This is several. Well, it's just different. I wish I could explain the difference, but Catapult is a singular market modular thing. This is more of a universal strategy that works across the board: day trading, swing trading, futures, forex, equities, options, everything. So it's just totally different. Do you have to pay to access the room? No, the trade room is free. My members get access, so that comes with the Counterpunch Express 2 for sure. You get it. You don't have to pay for that. Can you show the targets on Thinkorswim once more? Sure. So Thinkorswim is definitely an old platform. They haven't really done anything to it for over a decade, and the people that created it sold it out. They started another platform that's different, and they sold that. So we trade off the bright line, the numbers on the margins. We don't use the data window. You just use it a little differently. But for example, this is just a screenshot, but the targets are the little dots. Okay, and you could see the tracking, stop, and then the trailing. It's the only example I have for you right now. Here's the entry, here's the dots again. But ultimately, when this sets up at the right edge of the chart, the numbers light up in bright color on the margin. So that's what we use. And that's actually really fast and easy. So that's how it works on Thinkorswim. The problem with Thinkorswim is that you don't get the data to do the testing and the proof that I think you should do. Trade hack number one. But the setups are still really good. I trade with Thinkorswim. You can place trades with any broker you want, by the way. I mean, I'm typically taking my trades off of TradeStation and then placing my trades with a variety of different brokers. All right, let's see, who else? I think I'm done. I don't think I have any more time. You could reach me at troy@backpacktrader.com, and I will answer all questions. I always answer my emails, troy@backpacktrader.com. I had a wonderful time with you guys. I hope you learned something from me. If anything at all, just take those 7 hacks seriously, and remember, you guys typed in that you are ready to change your trading and take it seriously. Please do that. It's just too important to get wrong. Get it right, you guys. I want you all to succeed. Thank you for your time, Jeanette. Another great time. I loved it. Thanks for having me. I'll give you back to the mic and hope to see you again soon.